Hello, thank you for joining. Super excited to do a community call today. And especially, you guys have seen us sharing a lot on like Coaches Corner emails and social media and in the groups, talking about the benefits of building muscle, especially as women. And so I wanted to share a little bit more about that today, and then also give just kind of an introduction to our Goddess of Gains cohort and talk about what it is, what it entails, what is kind of unique about this cohort, and our goals. And I'm just going to make sure I have everybody. I think we're good on unmuting. But I want this to be kind of a Q&A style session. So if you guys have questions and want to ask them, I would love that as well. I know that sometimes people don't feel like inclined to ask questions on Zoom calls. They can feel intimidating. So I have compiled a lot of questions I've gotten this past week that I haven't had the chance to answer yet. And so I'll be reading through those as well. So hopefully if you have questions, I answer them. But if you still have questions, post them in the chat and we can talk about those as well. Okay, so adding people as they join here. We're officially starting the Goddess of Gains cohort on Monday, the 28th. And over the next couple of months, we're going to really prioritize hypertrophy workouts, which we already do through HF in the app, but also building on that. We have a lot of people joining all at the same time. Sorry, let me add people in. So we're also going to be building on our lifting programming, emphasizing building muscle through implementing habits and learning strategies that are going to help you fuel and recover properly so that you can build muscle. And the purpose of today's call is to kind of talk through like what to expect with the cohort and explain how it's different than just working out on your own. So my goal is by the end of our call today, you feel like you at least have all the information and can determine like what's the best timing for you? What's the best plan for you? Is it a macro consult? Is it waiting and doing a habits-based program in January? Is it moving into a calorie deficit right now? We're all different and we all have different lives. And so I really wanted to do this Goddess of Gains cohort right now before the end of the year, because I think the holiday season is such a good time to prioritize building muscle with extra calories that we typically get from holiday meals. It makes sense to use that energy to fuel our workouts and boost performance and and fuel muscle growth instead of trying to diet this time of year, because it is very challenging if you've ever tried to lose body fat during the holiday season. I would not recommend it unless you had something like specific coming up that you really needed to lose weight for, because it's not the mindset really that we are optimally in this time of year. We're usually doing a lot of gatherings. Our schedule may be out of sorts. And so different holiday meals. So focusing on building strength and muscle and staying energized and balanced throughout the holidays is going to benefit us and serve us way more than trying to lose body fat and be in a calorie deficit. And then also building muscle takes time. And so our intention with the Goddess of Gains cohort is to lay a strong foundation through the winter so that in spring we can shift into a fat loss phase and we have more strength, better body composition, and we're able to see sustainable fat loss by taking the time to lay that foundation through habits, through diet, through workouts, through recovery, and really have essentially like more muscle tissue to work from and see a really great transformation in the spring. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about why building muscle is important. If you guys are a part of HF, you should already know that. I think most of you are here because you know the importance of building muscle, and that's something that you're already pursuing. But a few things: muscle is the organ of longevity. Building muscle is going to help protect our joints and our bones, and it's going to also, sorry about kids roaming around behind me. It's also going to help you feel really strong and more confident and empowered. I think having the focus be Sorry, I'm going to mute everyone here. Having the focus be strength and building muscle tissue is so much more empowering as a woman than just continuously wanting to be smaller all the time. And I think we get so much pressure from society, and from most of us are millennials, like growing up. And then even now, like seeing everybody on weight loss drugs and trying to be the smallest version of themselves, I think it can get lost in there. And the aesthetic of that can get in the way of our health and longevity. And that's not to say that fat loss is bad or being thin is bad, but if you don't have enough muscle to support your body, then you are not going to feel good in the years to come. Life is going to be much harder for you in the years to come. So having enough muscle to support you will make it a lot easier to maintain your weight over time. It's also so empowering when you feel strong, you feel more confident and capable in every area of your life. And then also your energy is improved, your mental health is improved, and your physical health is definitely improved. So I'm very passionate about building muscle. I know everyone on the HF team is very passionate about it because we have seen the shift that it has given women physically and then also mentally and emotionally as they've pursued building muscle. Anything to add on that, coaches?
I just want to share, like, when a year ago when I started having a real focus on building, the biggest change that I did, like beyond pushing workouts, of course, were my sleep. Like, just basically changed my whole nighttime routine and my focus on recovery. Like, and that was a game changer for me in regards to it just changed my life basically, because now I'm getting to bed a lot earlier. I'm sleeping for longer. I've always been the one that's been thinking, I don't need a lot of sleep. I can do well with little sleep. And yeah, mentally that's correct, but that doesn't mean that my body is doing well with little sleep. Like, so just the fact that I am getting up early in the morning, I'm getting to bed early at night, enjoying that, like looking forward to getting to bed. And I would have never changed that if I weren't really focusing on building, and I wanted to optimize basically the results that I could get from my workout with doing all the things, including recovery. So yeah, I was like 9 hours of sleep, I'm getting it. I need to get up at this time. Okay, counting back, when do I need to be in bed? So that it's been a life changing, and I'm like still in awe of how I have changed, like how it's changed me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just like, so it's not something about like muscles, but it's just how having one focus can make changes in your life that is gonna be a benefit in so many ways. And this has really been for me.
Yeah, and I think the main purpose of this group is to allow you to be in a place so that you can build muscle. So we have workouts, right? We're going to also provide personalized macros for you so that you are eating to fuel recovery, to optimize sleep, to put your body in an anabolic place so that when you do lift, you can train with intensity and you can feel really sustained energy throughout the day. I think most of the women that come to us are under eating. And like Henrietta said, you don't understand that you are feeling shitty until you feel great. So like truly taking time to fuel your body and trusting that that is going to be worth having more food. And also having more food, yes, the scale might go up for a minute as your body acclimates to that, but not letting your fear get in the way of you feeling amazing and seeing physical change and feelings like libido increase, energy increase, better quality sleep, less anxiety. There's so much to benefit by just fueling your body appropriately. So that's what we really want to prioritize with this group. And I think that can feel a little bit scary. And so that's where this cohort is designed to not just be a macro consult for you, but continued support and answering questions and helping strategize. And there's just nuance there of like, Am I fueling my body? But not so much that now I'm putting on excess body fat, which is not something you want to do. And we understand that. And I wanted to just talk about that as well too, because I think that there can be a misconception that when you're building muscle, you're also just, I think we've seen it. We've seen people in the bodybuilding space and doing like bulks and seeing them put on a lot of size, muscle and fat, and then cutting it down. And it doesn't need to look like that. Like if you're doing things correctly and you are intentional and your in your training program is intentional and your nutrition intake is intentional, then you can, most people very effectively recomp in the process. I had a lot of people asking if they can lose body fat in the cohort, and that is not going to be the focus, but that can very, very well like happen as you are finding that balance of not eating so much that you're in a huge calorie surplus, but fueling your body so that you feel really good in training and eating a nutritious diet that's going to support you, like ultimately your body doing what it needs to do. So I have had many clients that have recomped with the goal of building muscle. And that is our goal in this cohort, unless you have a really hard time building muscle and are okay with putting on some body fat in the process, then that's something we can help you with too. So the purpose of the group is giving you all the tools and strategies you need so that you can pursue building muscle in a way that feels good and doesn't need to be scary. Because I think it can be a little bit for women, and I get that. And with that, along with the nutrition side, we'll also be implementing a habit each week. And these habits are what we will give education on each week and build upon so that you can create sustainable, lasting change and really shift habits that are going to support you long term. Some will be nutrition focused, like increasing protein intake, while others will cover things like stress management, improving sleep, or dialing in your recovery. And the goal is to keep things manageable and sustainable. We know like this is the holiday season as well. And so these are going to be strategies that we can layer into what we're already doing and just create not necessarily a lot more work, but more intention. And a lot of times just having some intention can be a game changer. It's about making progress and not being perfect. Anything to add in that way? Some of my coaches have amazing habits, and I think like anything to add there as far as just that intentional shift and how that can benefit with creating lasting change.
I think a lot. Oh,
yeah.
you go
No,
first.
Marissa, you go. I've said mine. You can go.
I've found working with women that everyone wants to be in a fat loss all the time.
All
But
the time.
when you really work on fueling your body and building muscle, you set such an amazing foundation that you didn't even know you needed beforehand. And not only is your fat loss going to be like 100 times more successful, but a lot of times I found just putting women at maintenance and really building muscle, they don't necessarily even want or need to go into a fat loss anymore. Or if they do, it's very short term, quick. So I'm super excited for this because I do think that, you know, as women, we're constantly taught to just diet and eat less, move more. And so I think this cohort's going to be really educational and really cool for a lot of people to build that foundation.
Yeah, I just think my goal for this cohort is for you to feel very empowered. Like, how can I add to my life? And so we're really excited to share that with you. The cohort will have weekly calls. We're going to do an educational call each week. So that's kind of similar to how we do community calls here, but with the focus on building muscle. So we'll dive deeper into topics that matter in regards to that, and like how to eat for performance, supplements that can be beneficial, how to overcome mindset blocks, how to optimize recovery. So we'll be going through that over the course of the 5 weeks. So our goal is for you to build habits, kind of fine tune your training as needed based on how your body is responding, and create mindset shifts so that you can build muscle and feel strong and really love the process of fueling your body so that you feel your best going into the new year. And some questions that I had, I'm going to answer these. So coaches, pitch in if you guys have any thoughts here. So I'll just go through them. Will the workouts in the app be customized for everyone? So essentially, this is kind of how we decided to design this program. Is I'm not gonna claim that the HF Physique workouts are like the only way to build muscle. There are so many great programs out there. So if you're doing a program that's hypertrophy focused already, you love it, you want to stick with it, I am okay with that. I didn't want people to have to do HF Physique because there are other ways to build muscle. However, I design HF Physique so that it is hypertrophy focused and it can be done at home or at a gym, and it can be done in 30 minutes or 60. So I try to give as many options as possible so that wherever you're working out and however much time you have, you can move the needle in the right direction to really transform your body and build muscle. That is the goal of HF Physique. With that being said, if you want to try HF Physique, I wanted everyone in the cohort to not have to spend more on HF Physique just to do the cohort. So I am doing a 30-day free trial for anyone that joins HF Physique between now and now and Friday. And our next cycle of programming starts on Monday. So my hope is that for those of you, I did this. I mean, most of you are probably already in HF Physique if you're on this call, but I posted it on my Instagram too for just whoever wants to join that's curious can join. So if you're not doing HF Physique and are curious, you can try the workouts out for a whole month. For those of you that are already doing HF Physique, we sent you a coupon code to your email for if you sign up for the Goddess of Gains cohort to give you $20 off because you're paying for HF Physique. So I wanted you to have a benefit in that way if you join. So check your email if you don't have it, and there is a discount code if you're already a member. And then if you are a member of HF Physique and have friends like separate, maybe they don't want to join Goddess of Gains, but you think they would benefit from trying out HF Physique, now is the time for them to sign up because we won't be doing a free trial. I've never done one before, so I don't know when I'll do another one, but we just thought this would be a great opportunity to give everyone the gift of training in November. So yeah, 30 days free, and there's no special code. If you just go on to sign up for HF Physique, the monthly option, then it is free for 30 days. So everyone will follow the same workouts because our program is already designed for hypertrophy. But in the group coaching, we will give you feedback on like, maybe you shouldn't be training 6 days a week. Maybe you should just do these 4 days. Like we will help you design your programming with the HF Physique options so that your training supports you recovering optimally so that you can come back and train hard and continue to build muscle. And then next question, will the macros provided be the same as a macro consult? So yes, if your goals are the same, then your macros that you would get from purchasing a macro consult from us on our website will be similar as they would be through the cohort. The difference is, and what makes the cohort special is the additional education and habits and support along the way, giving you the tools so that you can be as consistent as possible, and then also us providing adjustments to your macros if needed based on your biofeedback and how you're feeling. So you're paying for the macros, but then also the additional coaching and support. I'm already using your app and seeing gains. Would this still benefit me? Definitely. The cohort is going to provide additional community support and accountability and coaching that can take your progress further. So that's really our goal, that you'll get access to more guidance, more recovery tactics, helping you break through plateaus if that's something you're experiencing, and will just complement the progress that you have already made. Can I do this at home? Yes. If you're already in HF Physique, you know that it can be done really anywhere. You need at least dumbbells and resistance bands so that we can do resistance training, but can definitely be done at home. And I've seen, I need to get this post up. I need to compile it, but I've had quite a few of you send me photos of just your physical transformations from working out at home, doing HF Physique, and building muscle, like that being the priority. And it's been so fun to see. So I'm planning on sharing that on social media today because I think that's something that everyone should see. And congrats to those of you that have built muscle doing HF Physique on your own. Someone else said, I'm 7 weeks postpartum. can I join? And I think absolutely this would be a perfect program for postpartum moms. Now is the time to really focus on rebuilding your strength safely and improving your energy levels, optimizing milk supply, optimizing your recovery, like all of the things that we will be teaching and educating on will support you in this stage. And then if and when you want to move into a fat loss phase, you'll have that foundation set for you. And we'll also help you modify movements if needed to make sure that you're feeling good and progressing at a pace that feels good for your recovery. And then someone else asks, is this for someone going through menopause or post-menopause? Absolutely. Strength training is really important during and after menopause so that you're able to maintain muscle mass, support your metabolism, improve your bone density. And so I would say if you are perimenopause, I mean, really any stage of life, if you're postpartum, it's really going to be important for you to rebuild strength and muscle. If you're perimenopause or before perimenopause, like now is the time to set you up for long term. We can make a lot more progress right now. If you have not gone through perimenopause yet, because hormones are optimal to support building muscle, it's going to be more challenging post-menopause, but that doesn't mean it's not possible. It's very much possible. And so our goal is to give you the tools and education so that you can be as intentional with that as possible. Anything to add on any of these, coaches?
Pretty much, there's never a time not to be focusing on building muscle.
Never a time. Maybe, yeah, when you're like a child, then
Yes.
I think but still resistance work is good. It just looks different at different stages of life. So maybe what you're doing in your 20s is not what you're doing in your 70s, but resistance training and the goal of building muscle should be a lifelong pursuit. And so we will be very excited to help you, whether, you're in your 20s or you're in your 70s. Our goal is for you to feel safe and confident and have proper form and education so that you can continue to pursue that at whatever stage of life you're at. Is it for newbies or experienced lifters? It's definitely for both. Beginners will build a solid foundation that we can guide you through proper form and guidance, while experienced lifters are going to benefit programming designed to maximize hypertrophy and avoid plateaus. And we will help on the lifestyle habits and nutrition side to further optimize in that way. How is this different from the fat loss cohort? Well, the fat loss cohort focused on creating a calorie deficit and teaching sustainable habits to lose body fat, where the Goddess of Gains is about building strength and muscle and using fueling strategies that support performance and recovery. Both programs are designed really to complement one another, just in different phases. And there's going to be a lot of things that are going to support you in fat loss to feel your best that will also support you in pursuing building muscle to feel your best. So there's
certainly overlap there, because we talk a lot about maintaining muscle and maybe sometimes in some situations building muscle in fat loss phase too.
Yes, for sure. You will learn more on optimizing, which is important in both stages. But in terms of macronutrients and calorie intake, that's going to look different. And then also like the challenges that can arise with both. There's similar things that can be challenging, and there's things that are different. And someone asked if they are in their first trimester, can I still join? Yes, I think this is where having some coaching can be really beneficial. Things are going to look different. Maybe you're not tracking specific macronutrients. Maybe you have a protein and calorie emphasis, and we're helping you with some strategies for eating maybe while not feeling as good, or how to optimize recovery when you aren't feeling very recovered, how to modify exercises potentially as needed, if building muscle is a goal for you in pregnancy, and just what that can look like depending on your history and current state. So I think anyone can benefit from being at optimal intake to support feeling their best. And one of the other questions was, should I focus on fat loss first or muscle gain? And I think if you have like a lot of fat to lose, focusing on losing body fat first could be beneficial. But I think most of the women that come to us through HF Physique building muscle is the missing puzzle piece for them. And if they were to prioritize building muscle first before pursuing fat loss, they would see, like Marissa said, huge strides on their fat loss goals after. Because if you're prioritizing building muscle, you're going to be really like changing your body. You're going to have that lean tissue is going to complement your frame in a way that's aesthetically pleasing and then also really empowering for you. And then when you lose body fat, you're not just getting smaller, you're really seeing that transformation that women are looking for. When women come to us and say they want to be toned, just like continuously chronically dieting is not what's going to give you a toned body. Taking time to build muscle, and that is going to help you so that when you are ready to shift into fat loss, you feel really good and you can handle the stress of a calorie deficit as well. Anything else to add there?
Yeah, and just putting muscle on you, like it changes you in like it changes your metabolism as well. So when more muscle is on your frame, like your body requires more calories at rest, which means later on moving into a fat loss phase, you don't have to drop calories as low to see progress. It really does change you, and it makes the fat loss phase down the road, if you even choose to pursue it, far easier.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so timeline for the muscle building cohort. We will be doing prep week, which starts next week. And that's where you will get your personalized macros. We'll get you in the app. We'll introduce ourselves in the cohort. We'll answer questions. We'll do a prep week call to give you education. And then week 1 will officially start on November 4th, and we'll have 4 weeks in the cohort. And I designed the cohort to run for 5 weeks because I think that's the perfect amount of time to get you started on your muscle building journey. So during the 5 weeks, our plan and intention is to equip you with all of the tools and education and support you need to understand how to build muscle effectively, from your personalized macros to our weekly habits to recovery strategies. But for those of you that are loving at the 5-week mark, loving the progress and wanting more support beyond the 5 weeks, we're planning on doing, we haven't decided if it's a 4-week or an 8-week extension, but likely an 8-week extension. And the extension is going to be at a much cheaper rate because it's going to be more so continued support, similar to how we've done in our fat loss cohorts. I want people to be able to join and get all the information and education that they need to move forward on their own. But then if they want to continue with the group coaching, that's an option as well, because I think sometimes that's needed and wanted. So we probably will do an extension with this cohort as well if you want to continue with coaching, deepen your knowledge, and keep building momentum towards your goals. The first 5 weeks are going to give you a really solid foundation, so you'll be ready to take everything you've learned and continue running with it. And if you're someone that benefits from ongoing accountability and structure and like personalized guidance, then that's something that we're going to offer as well. So otherwise, does anyone have any questions on the cohort or building muscle or anything related to any of those? We're so excited to have you. For those of you that want to join the cohort, like I said, now is such a fantastic time to pursue building muscle and recomping, like building muscle, losing body fat, just prioritizing building muscle, eating at maintenance even, and like optimizing how you feel, from energy and recovery to sleep. Now is a really good time to do that so that you feel supported and you feel optimized energy and recovery through what can be a stressful season for a lot of us. The days are shorter, the days are darker. We have a lot of gatherings, which can be complicated, I think, at this stage of life. We have holidays, which bring up a lot of feelings. It's just a really good time of year to make sure you're supporting your body so that you feel your best. And even if you're not pursuing muscle, I think that could be a huge benefit. If it feels like this is a stressful time of year, I want to feel really supported and I want to know how to optimize my energy and how I'm feeling. All of the habits that we're going to be implementing in this cohort will support you in that as well. And my goal is then that we've built 5 pounds of lean tissue over the holiday season and we go into the new year feeling stronger and more capable and empowered in our bodies. And then if fat loss is something we want to pursue, we're in a really good place to do so. So I hope you'll join. And if not, I hope you'll invite a friend to try out HF Physique this week, and we can all start the next cycle of programming next Monday together. And it's a good one. We've got some more tempo work planned. Sam and I have been scheming up the next cycle of programming, which will start in 7 weeks, our winter phase, and that's going to be completely different. So we're very excited about that as well. So I hope everyone has a great Monday. And if you have any further questions that we didn't answer, definitely ask them in the app or on Instagram. And I hope you all have a great week. Thanks so much for joining. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.